Hello and welcome back to another video. In this one, we go to clear a blocked toilet, which is something I don't think we've done for a while. Also, we have a blocked urinal waste pipe that's been causing a boiler to back up and overflow all over the floor. So we've got to go sort that one out on a late night call out. Now, I'm going to try something new on that one, so stick around to see what I do. And yeah, all the usual stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and do all of that. Thank you.
Hello, I'm on TV. If you like this video, give a thumbs up and make sure to hit subscribe at the end.
So we are at a domestic property. We do a bit of work for the customer for their business, but they've called us out for their upstairs toilet being blocked. Now I'm hoping this is just going to be a simple plunge. So we've got the rod and the 4-inch plunger disc on the end of it, and we're going to try and plunge this. Well, a nice straightforward job to start off the video, so let's move on to later on in the day when... So I went home for about an hour and got a message from the office saying, we've got an urgent job, can you go to a restaurant? They have blocked ladies' toilets. I got to the restaurant and they didn't have blocked ladies' toilets, they had a boiler overflowing that a boiler engineer had attended earlier in the day, and he had diagnosed the overflow as the urinal pipe being blocked. So when the urinal's flushed, the water come up back through and yeah, onto the floor in the boiler cupboard. So what we're going to do is go there and give it a good machine through. Now I'm going to try something different this time. I'm not going to use the Spartan hand machine. We'll try something new. So this is the boiler cupboard where the flood happened. Now they've isolated the water to the urinals. So in theory this pipe should have drained away by now. If we take the cap off, it should be empty. Hopefully. So you're probably wondering, what are we going to do this different? Well, I've got my Picote extension cable. Also, thank you CJKL International for the strap to tie it up. It's quite handy. Now, I did bring the hand machine in, but I also brought a drill in and a 2-inch chain to go on the end of this cable. Now, this pipe's supposedly quite heavily scaled. I don't know that I've ever descaled it. So what I want to do is put the Picote chain on here. I'm going to try and clamp the cable down in my drill and see if my drill will spin the chains just like the Picote machine would. I've heard you can do it. I want to try it. I know you can get a little tool to connect onto the end of the cable. I'm actually going to invest in one of those. But yeah, for now I just want to see how well it works. Why not try something out different? Oh, that works. Well, let's get this cable in and get this pipe descaled. After that, I'm also going to do the urinal traps because I'm here, why not do them? I'll tell you what, I'm very happy with that. I'm definitely going to be doing this again. The only thing is I don't feel like this would be any good going around bends because it's not very good on the Picote on the smaller pipes. But it says bring the Picote in, it says bringing the hand machine in, and because this chain opens right up to 1.5 inches or 2 inch, it's going to do a better job. So I'm definitely going to be doing this again. So I pushed the chains down as far as they would go. Once I got them down as far as they go, I then pulled it back a little bit, went forward a bit more, just double check that I'd got right to the end. And then once I'd done that, I then spun the chains in reverse back to the rod and eye. Before I did pull the chains back though, what I did was filled up a bucket of water and tipped it down the urinals to flush anything through that sat in the pipework. Unfortunately, this toilet's the darkest toilet in the world. And I didn't bring my light in there, I left it in the other room. So yeah, I filled the bucket up off the trap on the bottom of the sink. Just like this. I also ran all the sinks because I know they're connected into the same pipework. And yeah, poured the hot water down the urinals. That'll also soften the scale that's in the trap when we come to do the traps in a minute. I promise you I'll bring a light in when I do that because it is so dark in there. They're all the same. Every one of this chain have really dark bathrooms. Don't know why. Right, let's get this cable out of here. We're then going to machine back the other way to the urinals, and as I said, we're then going to go in and clean the traps out. I'm just going to chuck another bucket of hot water down these urinals just to clean the chains off before we machine upstream. Also, it helps soften the scale in the pipe work, as I said before. I also machined upstream back towards the urinals. Now, I'm not too sure why, but I didn't film it and I've only just realised. But you get the idea. I did exactly the same in the opposite direction. Well, we've done the waste pipe. They didn't ask me to do the urinal traps, but it makes sense to do them. We've done the waste pipe, so why not do the traps? How bad do you reckon these traps are going to be? Let me know your guess in the comments below. Now, I'll be honest with you, I thought these traps are going to be a lot worse than they actually are. Now, I don't think that was actually that bad at all. I'm surprised. Yeah, nice and clean. Well, this one's the furthest from the door, so in theory, this is the worst one. So we'll get this one back on, and then we're going to do exactly the same on the left-hand one, which, as I said, is closest to the door, so should be the easier one. yeah, looking at it, this one isn't that bad either. So, yeah. I don't know why the waste pipe was so bad, but trap-wise, they're really good. Right, let's get this trap back on and I can pack my things up and go home because, yeah, I'm about an hour away from my house, got a bit of a drive back. Right, let's just give it a little bit of a clean up on the traps. Obviously I've been touching all them, so I want them to look a bit smarter. And give all the wet spots on the floor a bit of a wipe over, because that's what we do. It does need a bit of a clean under these urinals though, looking at it from this angle. And I also spilt a bit of water over in this corner, so we'll give that a bit of a dry up as well, just to make it look better. Don't even need the pour the end machine. Well, sorry it's a bit of a shorter video today. I'm actually going away to Benidorm next Wednesday, so I'm trying to get a few videos ahead. That's why some of them are shorter. Maybe not as good content, but I want to put something out there. I don't want to fall behind on videos and you not have anything to watch. So thanks for watching this video. Please leave a like. Please leave a comment as always, which lots of you do. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. See you on the next one.
Please like and subscribe and leave a comment.